my prayer today is that the Lord give you peace that is unshakable. Yes, my prayer today is that He fills you with a passion for righteousness. Lord, my prayer today is that Jesus will guide you through every storm. Yes, every storm. Lord, every storm. This is my prayer today.
I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out, roar! Righteousness. Welcome, everybody, to the Trust in the Lord Hour. I am your host, talking quietly and softly, James David, trusting in the Lord Manning today. Thank you so very much for giving us an opportunity to meet with you today. Over the last couple of days, we've taken a bit of a break. We had an extraordinary weekend with our $3.1 million toilet tax protest before the Smith and Walensky restaurant here in New York City, and also the Madison Avenue Baptist Church with Reverend Susan down on Madison Avenue here in New York City as well. So it's an extraordinary weekend. I'll speak more about that in just a moment. But we also want to acknowledge on this day, which we find ourselves the 28th of September, the Hurricane Ian is making its way to landfall on the west coast of the state of Florida, and it's a Category 4 storm, just 2 miles below a Category 5, which means that it is pretty much of a monster storm getting ready to make landfall in the I think Tampa, St. Pete area of state of Florida. A lot of flooding, 18 feet wave surge and winds at 155 miles per hour. A lot of evacuation. It's going to go straight across Florida, across Interstate 4, hitting Orlando and heading up to Jacksonville, Florida. So our prayers go out for those people in that regard. However, we'll have to say more about these storms being a part of the tribulation event as we understand them to be. I want to get that out of the way just to acknowledge that that's happening at present while I speak. Also want to take the time to say the 3 days and the 4 events to save Allah that we did this weekend, the protest that we had again at the Smith and Walensky restaurant, for 3 nights, Friday night, Saturday night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. And the one event that we had in front of the Madison Avenue Baptist Church on Madison Avenue on Sunday were 4 tremendous events. I'll tell you, it was just an exciting and exhilarating time. And I am thankful beyond belief that Almighty God allowed me and us, the church, to participate in such activities. That's what we're able to do, preaching the gospel, demonstrating our love for of the Lord Jesus Christ, and being able to make known our message about saving our church from the thieves that are trying to take it down. I do also want to thank not only the people that serve with us, the people who rang the bell, and of course the carrying of the shield, of the cross of the shield, and the musicians, all of that. There you go. Thanks so very much, Mr. And that's a beautiful sight. If there's anything beautiful, that is beautiful. We have the young Honor who's ringing the bell, and Jeremiah who's carrying a shield. And then behind us, you see a line of people carrying signs, indicating our our complaint against Smith and Walensky and against the judges as well. And I want to thank you for many of y'all logged on from all over everywhere to watch the event on both TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and I don't know where else the live stream went to. And thank you for our just organizing the live stream so that you could watch it. But thank you for your support. It's what I want to say here as well. I have never, I'm always doing the Mama Neal thing called, Mama Neal said that every day with Jesus is sweeter than the day before. And I'm forever reaching new heights, and I'm thankful to the Lord for that. And in terms of reaching new heights, in terms of the ministry. And I pray, while I haven't had the opportunity to talk with the membership in general, and maybe we'll have a session to discuss it, but I pray that the members are reaching new heights as well, that individually that we are reaching new heights. I've been in ministry for 40 years. And just every year with Jesus gets sweeter than the year before. And this event that we are spending time out in the streets before Smith and Walensky in the Madison Avenue Baptist Church has been a new high for us. And I'm praying about our spending more time out in the streets. And let me just say a word about my voice. I am, as a trained speaker, understand I speak from my stomach area, from my gut area, to use a perhaps more definitive term, and not from my throat. But I was on the street Friday night for 3 hours, constantly speaking, and at the top of my voice, because we were not using any amplified sound. That would have been prohibited. Now, we could have gotten a permit. That's a beautiful shot. Keep that MS engineer. That's a beautiful shot. We're on the south side of 49th Street now, looking north. Smith and Walensky is just across the street. And so for me to reach them inside of the building, I used the top of my voice for nearly 3 solid hours, both Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday morning, and Saturday night. And so as a result of that, I did strain my larynx, I believe, a touch, and it probably needs some time to heal. We took 2 days off, which gave the media staff, who's done an extraordinary job of bringing the visuals and bringing the ministry to you wherever you are. Also had some time to rest and regroup, and we got a ton of footage, as you can very well see, or you very well may know, from the event. But I'm praying about spending more time on the streets. In fact, I just talked with a couple of my engineers about, or our engineers, I should say, about perhaps doing a prayer meeting from outside tonight. They're working on whether that could be done. I sprang that on them just a few moments ago. They have to think about it a little bit. And if so, we might be out on the street tonight in front of the cross during the prayer meeting. It's just exhilarating to be out on the street. I think many times we pastors spend too much time inside of the comforts of the church building. So thank you, Mr. Engineer. I think that the other thing is that though my larynx with cords that have been a bit swollen or strained, I take that as a sign from the Lord. We'll just take some time and slow down and rest. And that's probably what I need to do. But I promised to get back here today, and I wanted to get back here today. And I may not be live tomorrow. I may not be, because I first of all, I believe one of the great things that the Apostle Paul said that's been so effective for me is that I believe that all things work together for those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. And even though if you were logged on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, I was at the top of my voice. And I don't know who could do that for a total of probably as many as 9 to 10 hours, just constantly at the top of your voice. Well, that would strain anybody's larynx. And so sometimes I say, well, maybe it's a sign from the Lord that I should just take a rest and regroup. If you ask me, you haven't, but I'll state, I believe, and were I to confer with some of the members of the congregation, that the ministry that we did starting on Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday morning, and Sunday night was enough ministry to cover at least what most pastors or churches do in a month. We did a month worth of ministry in 4 days, and each one of those nights was worth at least a week of ministry. I never thought that when I first started doing ministry that I could even do this. I never thought that I could preach for more than 15 minutes at one setting. I never had that much message in me. I never had that much word from the Lord. And I not that I didn't have it. I think what it was is that it was not God's timing. I want to share this not with caution, but I want to share it with sacredness. I believe for us at the Outlaw Church and Ministry worldwide, now we don't have a whole lot of people. We got one or two people here, one or two people in Australia, maybe, that kind of thing. But we have to include them. And so when we say worldwide, we're not trying to indicate that somehow or another we got this huge amount of people. But I believe that for us, our life is just beginning. 3 years ago, I after coming back from our last vacation at Yosemite National Park, the Lord spoke to me and said that my life was just beginning. My entire life was just beginning. Not just my ministry, but my life was just beginning. And over the time since he said that 3 years ago, there's several things about my life I realized that I had not lived, and now I understand. But he said to me, my life was just beginning. But I believe that God's love for the members of the Outlaw Church is of such. What he does through me, he does for them. And I believe that for the members of the Outlaw World Missionary Church, that their lives, or lives, plurally, is just beginning. Now, we want to give God the praise that Esther Bennett had a successful, I would call minor surgery in and out on was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday, yeah, on Monday. And she's doing well. She's at home recuperating. But for the most part, I think our lives, for all of us, no matter what our age is just beginning. And the Lord gave us during this celebration, he gave us the birth of Emerald Rose. If y'all haven't seen Emerald, she came to church Sunday. She was here for the first time on Sunday. Emerald Rose was. And we had a great time with her. And God has set her as a sign. And I believe from the oldest to the youngest, to Mother Jubilee Cooper and others, that our life is just beginning. Our experiences are just beginning. And I would say to the women with the birth of Emerald Rose that no matter what your age is, your life is just beginning. Now, you may have some kinks in your life. You may be working through some issues or some problems or some illnesses, but your life is just beginning. And for all of us, our lives is just beginning. As God spoke to me 3 years ago, and I said for me, but it's for all of us. And I think the other thing I would want to say to all of us is that all of our past is now behind us. Our past, especially the sad and the ill parts, the wrong things that we did, the foolish things that we did, the crazy, crazy, crazy things that we did, the unproductive things that we did, the hurtful things that we did, they are now fully and completely behind us. All of us, and our life It's if we have been not only been born again of the Holy Ghost, but we have been born again of the vision. And all of our lives, all of our hurtful things, crazy, sinful, things that we did for the entire church, from the youngest to the oldest now, the young people like Naomi, well, she's only been living about 4 or 5 years, so she doesn't have a lot to be behind her, but even all of that is behind her. And the fact that she doesn't have a present and strong father, Naomi, in her life and in her home, that should be behind her. There should be a strong, godly, righteous man ready to step up and to be a father to Naomi. You get the idea. And what I'm saying to all of us, members of Otla, and to everybody else listening, I believe there are people who are members of Otla. They probably have never put their names on the roll, but they are indeed members of the congregation in the heart of God. And that's what's most important, whether your name is on the roll or not, in the heart of God. And if Otla is in your heart and you've been born of this spirit, then yes. But I believe that all of us, from the youngest, from Emerald Rose to the oldest, Mother Shekinah, that our lives are just beginning. And I want to urge everyone to not pay any attention to the flesh or to your birth date in terms of for many, many years, I wouldn't even celebrate my birthday, and I still don't to a large degree. And I tried to, for some time, encourage people not to celebrate their birthday, mainly because it was generally in the sense that you're getting older. And that's one of the things that I didn't want people to begin to think about themselves somehow or another, that they're getting older, because every year you're getting older, possibly uglier. Now, I didn't have to say that, but I did. Pastor Madden, he likes to put one in every now and then. But I think that what is important is that our lives of sorrow and pain are behind us. And before us is this beautiful vista called the vision of Otla. And it was 3 years ago that God spoke this to me. And as I said, that it is for all of us. It's for every member of the congregation, from the youngest to the oldest, that our lives are just beginning. There are probably some things that we are going to need to work out. I have been working on the health issues as much as I possibly can. And you probably saw my tweet on yesterday regarding plan to live, plan your next 5 vacations. I pray that you've done that, because by doing that, it releases the healing power. It releases the will to live by planning, making plans for your life. It releases the will to live. And of course, some of y'all are making plans to die. That's not a good idea. Don't make plans to die, make plans to live. I sent that out on yesterday. By the way, we want to give a great big shout out to our very skilled minister of music, Christian Williams, who just did an extraordinary job of capturing on photographs the 4 protest events on all 3 days. She did an extraordinary job and caught me in some really good moments that we experienced. But I want to say this to you, that we are just beginning, and we are forming pretty much from the past 3 years a new, not a new church, I don't want to put it that way, but a new organization. There's been new talents that's been flooded into our church. There have been new marriages and new weddings and new engagements and new relationships and new births have happened inside of our church over the past 3 years. Not that those kinds of things didn't happen previously, but somehow or another, God has brought us to the newness of life, to a new, and it's all because of the vision. And it most probably has to do with the tribulation as well. that God has somehow or another isolated us. But I want to say to all of the members of the church that are near and far and wide, that this is a new beginning for us. This is indeed. If someone asks you how old you are, tell them you're only 3 years old. Well, you may not tell everybody that, because you tell somebody that, they might think you lost off your rocker, you lost your marbles or something. But you get the idea. And that the old things have passed away, and behold, all things are new. And the ministry that we did this weekend, there's several things about this we want to discuss as the time goes on. Let me check with my engineer to see if we got that piece from Smith & Walensky. If you'll give me a time frame on it so I can judge. How many? 24 minutes long? Starting at the, all right, okay. I'm going to, at least I want to play a segment of a prayer that I did before on 49th Street. And so I'm going to get to that in just a moment. But I want to say that that all things are behind us now. And that all the things that are before us are all of the prophecy and all of the vision. And to be out on the street the way we were was just an extraordinary time. And we need to begin to understand that it is for the purpose of the vision. And I don't know. Perhaps I will ask some of the members, and maybe y'all can, rather than I'll have a session together. But you can send tweets or send notes, feedback, .org or outlaw at feedback, whatever it is, ever how that's done, you'll know how to find it online. And tell me about a time of refreshing. And one of the questions I would like to ask about being out on the street while we were there, and by the way, I want to give a shout out to Brother Eric Miller. Brother Miller, and he's always on the case. Brother Miller watched, I think, probably most of the online streaming, and made some comments as well. Sister Kane was fighting with some crazy woman on there, or make some crazy comments. I think Sister Kane and somebody, and Brother Miller, trying to straighten them out. He said, Pastor Man, are these your two favorite people in the world? Listen, man, they just online all the time. What do you want me to do? Ignore them? But I want you to answer a couple of questions. How did you feel about those 3 days and 4 events? And one of the things I want to ask, did you feel spiritual? And did you feel safe? And did you feel secure? So let's look at that as a 3S question. Did you feel spiritual? How did that feel compared to church worship, right? Did you feel spiritual? Did you feel safe? Even though there were people all around us, nightfall came, police and others, did you feel safe? And even if you weren't on the street, I believe that those of you who are online watching, you felt as you were, some of y'all who know me well, you've been with me now for years online, though you've never been in the building. You feel every time we worship, you feel very much that you're a part of it. Did you feel safe out there? The engineer is going to try to give you some photos to give you an idea. And did you feel sacred? All of you. I'd like to hear your responses to that. How did you feel out there? Were you embarrassed? Why don't you write me a little note and tell me, Pastor, on Friday night I felt this way, and on Saturday night I felt that way, or this or that or the other. Or when I saw you talking to the police, when I saw the young people standing there, and then those of you who were there who maybe got a little bit better view of things that the camera didn't pick up, though our cameraman got just about everything you could possibly get. How did you feel about that event? Could y'all take some time today, tomorrow, and to tell me about that? Because I knew we were outside. That much I knew. But I felt the presence of God as God had turned our space into a sanctuary. How can I say this? That's me on my knees. That's got to be one of the classic shots. That's the south side of 49th Street. I'm down on my knees. I think I stayed there for 10, 15 minutes on my knees on the street. I don't know if I would ever have done that. One of the things that was encouraging, of course, for me to get down on my knees like that in the street was Isaiah chapter 20, where, Isaiah, the prophet, walked around for 3 years naked. All right, listen, here's what I'm going to do. Y'all write to me, okay? Write to me and tell me if you're online, you were watching from online. Did you feel, I felt that it was a sanctuary in the street. That's what I felt. The music, what I want to do now is I'm going to, I want to bring up a segment where I knelt, and they're telling me I was on my knees for 20 minutes or so. Who? Is that on the? I want on the. My engineer's talking to me, but we have just a moment. So hold that, Mr. Engineer. Hold it right there. I want you to tell me what you thought about it. Can you do that? You can do it. What are they doing? At feedback.org? Is that the best place to go? Go to Outlaw Media Network or Outlaw World, outlaw.org, and then they can find feedback. Is that where they can do? Is that the best place to do it? Go to outlaw.org and then find the segment at the site that says feedback, and tell me what you thought about the event. I just felt that I was in church. But I tell you, I felt more powerful. I felt very bold. I felt a godly boldness. I felt that I think the engineer's going to put, feedback and commentary, prayer requests, press contact. All that's where? At Outlaw Media Network? Is that outlaw.org? Is that the same as outlaw.org? So you go to outlaw.org, then you go to Outlaw Media Network, right? Okay. So y'all will find it, right? I'm not all that good at computer stuff. Everybody knows that. But at any rate, let me know what you think. And we're going to go back again. We're planning on going back again this weekend with the same routine. We certainly need to go back down there and see Reverend Susan again. You know that woman, they locked me out. They locked the doors of the church and wouldn't let me go in there. At the Madison Avenue Baptist Church. They actually locked the doors. They did. Anyway, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to taking a break, and I may not be live tomorrow, but don't worry about it. I may not be live streaming. Let me say that. I may not be live streaming. I's going to be live tomorrow, unless Jesus comes and takes us all back somewhere else where live don't count. But what I want to do now is that I'm trying to cue this up, and I was on my knees for, I don't know for how many minutes I was on my knees praying, and God gave me the strength to just kneel in prayer. And I'll give a little bit of a hint to the people at Smith and Walensky who saw me and everybody else. I spent a lot of time on my knees every day, so this was no real big deal. Okay, this is on 49th Street, Smith and Walensky Restaurant, the Watering Hole of Warren Buffett. and his restaurant. This is Warren Buffett's restaurant, and I'm there in front of the restaurant. I read Psalms 37, praying that Warren Buffett would release the vicious foreclosure attack against our church. And so I knelt in prayer, asking God to touch the hearts of our members and to know and be encouraged that God is still on the throne and not Warren Buffett. Though he's on a gold throne, I don't want to tell you what kind. Go ahead, Mr. Engineer.
Fret not thyself because of Smith and Walensky's evil doings. Fret not thyself because of Smith and Walensky's cold stakes and cold-blooded. Fret not thyself. It ain't wise to do evil. For evildoers like Smith and Walensky foreclosing a church in Harlem shall be cut off. But those that wait on the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth, shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. For the wicked plotteth against the just, the poor being plotted against by the blood-sucking rich, and they gnasheth upon the poor with their teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out their judges, their shyster lawyers, their blood-sucking banks. They've drawn out their sword and have bent their bows to foreclose and cast down the poor and the needy. The Mellon Bank and Smith and Walensky, we don't need no badges. We don't need no stinking badges. The Mellon Bank, Smith and Walensky, drawn out their swords against the poor. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. A little that a righteous man have is better than the riches of Warren Buffett, Smith and Walensky, and the Mellon Bank. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholdeth the right. For the Lord knoweth the day of the upright. And their inheritance shall be forever. They shall of lambs. They shall consume into smoke. They shall consume away. The wicked borroweth, payeth not again. But the righteous show mercy and giving. But you can't get no mercy from Smith and Walensky. You can't get no mercy from this place. They don't show no mercy. Like they cuss me out. For such as be blessed, of him shall inherit the earth. They that be cursed of him shall be cut off. Of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. I have been young, and now I'm old. Yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor a seed begging bread. He is ever merciful and lendeth, and his seed is blessed. Depart from evil and do good and dwell forevermore. For the Lord loveth judgment and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever. But the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell therein forever. The mouth of the righteous speak wisdom, but the tongue and his tongue talketh of judgment. The law of his God is in his heart, and none of his steps shall slide. The wicked watches the righteous like y'all are watching me, and seeketh to slay me. But the Lord will not leave me in your hands, nor condemn me when I'm judged. Wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked cut off landscape in great power, dining with Warren Buffett, spreading himself like a green bay tree, yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yet I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the perfect man. Behold the upright. For the end of that man is peace. But the transgressors shall be destroyed together, and the end of the wicked shall be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous is of the Lord. He is their strength in a time of trouble. And the Lord shall keep them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust in him.
because they want us to work a large part on teams and collaborating. And most of the time, they want us to work. They're going to change it up sometimes.
You are the one to preach righteous and true. You're a sharecropper, son, Pastor Manning. The things you've been through, the Obama years, tribulation Trump too. Pastor Manning, you get knocked down, you get back up, you preach on holy ground. Pastor Manning, you're the one. You preach righteous and truth. You're a sharecropper, son.
Hi, come in. Since the pandemic, I haven't had any house guests, so I decided to invite a couple of friends over. And guess what? They love the way I've redecorated. What's my secret? Bethelite Marketplace. They have wonderful items such as wall decor and fine china. So if you want to be the talk of the town, go to Bethelite Marketplace. And hurry. Come to Bethelite Marketplace, the one-stop shopping dream.
We have been given $1 million in antique jewelry, antique furnishings, painting, clothing, artifacts, vases, china, crystal, pewter, just a wide variety of things that have been given, totaling more than $1 million. And here's what the Lord has led me to say to you, that over the next month, during the month of September and October, you are to purchase 7 of these items as an investment of that which is holy. That these items that have been given to us by Charlene McMillan, or Sister Charlene McMillan, I should say, have been designated and consecrated as holy, as a part of the wealth of the wicked being given to the righteous. Listen to me very carefully. Next 2 months, one a week, one every 2 weeks or whatever, purchase at least one of the items from the Bethelite marketplace as an investment of this historical event that took place from the 15th of August to the 19th of August. And as a part of...
I'm the Lord's servant.
I'm asking now is to give truth a chance. All I've ever told anybody is the truth. Now, just because you didn't understand it doesn't mean it's not true. And I'm asking people to give truth a chance.
All around, you hear the lies being told from the top. Every time you turn around, it just don't seem to stop. When you're ready to move far beyond that same old dance, all you gotta do is listen, yeah, and give truth a chance.
Give truth a chance.
Everybody,
Give truth a chance.
come on and sing it.
Give truth a chance. Give truth a chance.
I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out, righteousness. Welcome, everybody, to the Manning Report. I am Manning, the quintessential American, with a bit of a strained voice, broadcasting from our studio located in our church building. And our church building is located in the community formerly known as Harlem. But God Almighty has changed the name of this community to Atla. That's what God said. The land where the people shall walk barefoot because the land is holy ground. How is everybody doing? Mucho prayers as we are now witnessing a Hurricane Ian, or a storm Ian, that's making its way onto the west coast of Florida. And the storm surges of 18-foot waves that are banging against the Tampa Bay. And I think the landfall eye is happening somewhere around Naples, Florida. And the place has just been inundated with water. This is probably going to be one of the more horrific storms of our times, this storm Ian, and it's going to make its way across the state of Florida from west to east, even dropping a lot of rain and storm surge and storm winds, rather, on Orlando and making its way up to Jacksonville and then up the East Coast and probably coming to see us somewhere in New York a little bit later on. But we are wanted to get that information out. Want to thank all of you for allowing us to take a couple of days off to regroup and recuperate ourselves. As you know, we were in the $3.1 million toilet tax protest this weekend. On Friday night, we were at the Smith & Walensky's Grill. Saturday, we preached as we normally do with our 10 a.m. worship service, our Sabbath worship. And Saturday night, we were back at the Smith & Walensky's restaurant. Sunday morning, we were at the Madison Avenue Baptist Church down on Madison Avenue, New York City. And on Sunday night, we were back at the Smith & Walensky's Grill. 3 days, 4 events. And I was pretty much preaching the entire time I was out there at the top of my voice. And though I understand clearly as a speaker now for 40 years, when I speak from here, from my gut, not from my gut, well, from my stomach area, rather than from my throat. But nonetheless, I think my vocal cords and larynx got a little bit strained at the process, even though doing it the appropriate way, for 3 days and 4 events. And if I'm not here live streaming tomorrow, it'll be because we'll continue to rest. But the other thing is that I want to go through all the footage of what we have. We are at a place now where we really need to bring God's attack against Warren Buffett, against the Mellon Bank, against the American Baptist churches. And I may just take another day tomorrow, sit down with the media staff and others and look at how we're going to plan our attack. We did, I believe, a month's worth of preaching. It was like a month-long revival, Evangelist Brown, that we did in a matter of 3 days with a fourth event, because we were out there so long. And so we want to be able to, I look at some of this footage and then decide how we're going to use it. And we are continuing to bring the battle to Warren Buffett. We're not going to let him off the hook. I had stated initially that if anyone, I know Warren Buffett's going to be in Las Vegas at a meeting of his group on the 10th of October. I may go out there. I may go out there to protest in front of the hotel that he's in. I don't know if we have any listeners or if we have any friends or members out in Las Vegas, but I do understand that he's going to be there in October, on the 10th of October. I'm contemplating whether or not I should go or not. But I've asked if there are others that, if Warren Buffett is scheduled to be in your town, all we need is about 5 people to be outside the hotel with signs stating that Warren Buffett and Mellon Bank foreclosure and viciously foreclosing the most blessed Bethlehem Community Baptist Church and Outlaw Worldwide Ministries. And that's not such a major thrust right now in terms of recruiting people to do that. I think what we've done here in New York with the Smith & Walensky's restaurant will go national and international up on TikTok. I think there was some 37,000 viewers that came in and out of the event on Sunday night in front of Smith & Walensky's restaurant. And we believe that once we got the posting up the appropriate way, that's a beautiful shot. Leave that there for just a second, Mr. Engineer. Once we got the posting up the appropriate way, that we'll be able to cover this story on a national and international way. So what I'm asking you for now is for your time and your patience. Now, obviously, we need finances, we need funding. And, since the interest rate has been raised and everybody's talking about recession, we haven't seen a number of our people roll in their gifts recently. We are concerned. And we have, and so that it affects us here. If you are being affected financially where you are, we're being affected perhaps 1,000 times more where we are with our need for gifts as well. However, though we need your tithes and your offerings, and they ought to always be in order, I have to tell you, what I really need from you, now I'm not saying don't give, please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying don't give, don't tithe, don't support. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that I need your time and I need your attention. I need you to, and I need your prayers. We're getting ready to go into the thick of the battle. There are a large number of things that are happening. And so if you would just give me your time, please also pray for us. And I believe if you'll give us your time to listen to the things that we're saying, pray for us, and then share our messages with as many people as you can possibly share our messages. If we put up a message on YouTube, I think we're streaming live on YouTube right now. Is that right? Yeah, we put up a message on YouTube or Facebook. I don't know where else we're streaming live. But if we post up a message on either one of those venues, Facebook or YouTube, make sure you share it. Make sure that you share it with at least 100 people. You say, Pastor, you know 100 people? Find 100 people and share the message. That's what I need from you. Now, of course, we need financial gifts. You know that we do. There's no way we're going to be able to do this without financial gifts. And, we may have to cough up money towards that $3.1 million. I told the Lord this morning in the prayer closet, I told him that I'm not going to settle for anything but a 100% victory. A victory where we are exonerated of this wrongful charge that has been leveled against us. A victory and the truth of exposing the judges and the lawyers for the bias, for the criminal activity that they have demonstrated against us. That's what we want. We want an entire victory. You may have noticed that over the past few months, since July, I haven't really asked for any funding. We laid out a program for funding, and you ought to follow it. If you made the decision to start on that program of the first fruit offering, and by the way, the first of the year is coming up. We're now in the month of October, just about, and January is when you really do the first fruit offering, big time. Your first full paycheck goes to the Lord on the first of the year, the first fruit offering. And then we talked about that. You could follow that as a program to help us financially. That's something you should do whether we're in financial battles or not. You should always do that. And then the tithe, of course, is always in order. And then we laid out, could give a certain amount, whether $21 a month, $12 a month, $40 a month, $70 a month, $49 a month, $120 a month, $490 a month, that you can give a $700 a month, or whatever you want to give on a monthly basis can be done. Now, we laid that program out this past July, and we've not come back to it and talked about it, because you have to talk, when you put a program like a financial giving out like that, you have to talk about it every day. We haven't talked about it since July. And the reason being is because what we really need from you is your time and your prayers. And if you'll give us your time and prayers and listen to what I have to say and share these messages, you're going to give your finances. That's going to be a given. You're going to do that. You're just going to do it because if you pray for us, you're going to give us your finances. So I told the Lord this morning, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a complete exoneration and a complete victory. Now, we're going to need funding. We're going to need lots of funding, more than we needed previously. And we understand now that we're in a financial time, a financial crisis time. But and if you know you're struggling, know that our needs are great as well. But I want to conclude this segment by saying it was an extraordinary 3 days out on the street. I think I need to be out there more often. I'm going to try to get out there more often. I would to God I had discovered this a little bit early on in the summer months. I don't think we would have been in church on Saturday anyway. We probably would have held church in Central Park had I, and we still might hold church in Central Park before the winter cold really sets in. It was just a great time. In addition to the message that we were bringing forward, I believe that God just created a sacred sanctuary. Wherever we were, God turned it into a sanctuary. I'm telling you. God turned 49th Street into the 49th Street Sanctuary. I think that's what we're going to call it. Somebody make note of it. God turned 49th Street into the 49th Street Sanctuary. It was an extraordinary time. And we're scheduled to be back out there again this weekend. We have several things going on. We have our own market sales, the Bethelite Marketplace sales that need to be attended to, but I think the street sanctuary is going to take precedent. But it was just a wonderful time. And thank all of you who followed us online. You watched us do this work from your computer or your television. And we are so grateful and thankful for that all that took place. And we believe our ministry has entered into a new phase since the time we were down in front of the Mellon Bank. That was really like, I stated that the Mellon Bank, which was a 5-day protest, was going to be like a vacation, and it was. It really was. And the children were down there doing cartwheels in the park, doing a foot race, And we were all having a good time eating pizza. And I think we were eating from Wendy's hamburgers and Domino's pizza. And I think, what else was what we were eating? Chick-fil-A. I'm trying. Chick-fil-A. Oh, it was just great. We did a foot washing down there. It was a beautiful time. And this was a beautiful time as well. Our church has entered into a new phase. Go back and listen to the Trust in the Lord segment from today, and you'll hear me talk about we are at now we're at a new segment, a new phase, and everybody's life is renewed. Everybody's just beginning to live their lives, and God's going to put into the hearts of many of the people, are already put into the hearts, and it will be revealed as time goes on. A new understanding of life, a new appreciation for life, a new taste for life, and a new devotion and dedication to the Lord Jesus Christ and to his word. We are a new congregation. We are blessed, and all things are behind us. All the sins and all of the trials and errors and mistakes of our past, all that is in the past and dead and buried. But we're at a brand new time. It is just a very exciting time that God is allowing us to experience. And so if I'm not here tomorrow, we'll have great footage and programming for you as we prepare for this weekend. And as we get our staff together, we have got at least 12, we've got 9, we've got at least 11 hours of footage to broadcast. Now, we're probably not going to broadcast all of it, but there's a lot yet to be done. And at the back end of this broadcast today, I'm going to rebroadcast a segment of what I would refer to as "Could You Not Tarry With Me 1 Hour?" And actually the title of it's going to be Warren Buffett's what I call it, Warren Buffett Smith and Walensky restaurant, "Could You Not Tarry," protest rather, and then subtitle will be "Could You Not Tarry With Me 1 Hour?" That's going to be coming up shortly. But I told people earlier today that we are in a new phase now. And of course, the battle is intense. And I want to say this as well to many people. We are in the midst of the tribulation. Many people that need to hear that don't know about the tribulation and don't understand it and don't believe that process. We are in the midst of the tribulation. And so as a result of that, the fact that the tribulation has come upon us, God has exalted our vision. We are extremely blessed. Now you can search the media, you can search, God is not letting anything like this happen anywhere else in America. Now there may be some places, in a poorer, less developed nation where God is letting, but listen to me very carefully. God, when I say God, I mean Jesus, is not letting anything, what you see us doing as a congregation is biblical. Fighting against the most powerful forces in America. Listen, the Mellon Bank is a $50 trillion institution. The LGBTQ people are the strongest group in a cross-section of politics, social, racial, political, economic group in America. And those are the groups that we have launched the battle against. We've taken the battle to them. We have taken the battle to them. They struck us first, and we're taking the battle to them. I haven't seen it. I get a lot of postings. A lot of people send me news flashes from all over, everywhere. And I get a lot of news. I'm online to get news reports from just about every organization, from the Associated Press to TMZ. I don't think that that God is allowing anybody the privilege to serve him the way he is allowing the Atla people the privilege of serving him in this day and time, in this very moment in which I now speak. I don't think God's allowing anybody to serve him like this. Our being out on the street, what I refer to as a street sanctuary, I don't think God is allowing anybody to serve the way he's allowing us to serve him. This is such a wonderful privilege. It's such a blessing. Now, it's definitely, listen, I don't mean to say that everything is rosy, rosy, rosy. We're in battle, and we could lose our lives. We're in the lion's den, and we could be eaten by him. Now, I don't mean see, Daniel served the Lord in the lion's den. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego served the Lord in the fiery furnace. Moses served the Lord in the wilderness of Mount Sinai, Mount Horeb, Mount Sinai. In the wilderness, Moses served the Lord in the wilderness. Joseph, the son of Jacob, Israel, served the Lord in prison. You see, I don't mean to say that because we have this unique, but God chose Daniel and Shadrach and Meshach and Joseph and others to serve in these perilous conditions. But what a privilege it was. What a privilege it was. And now God is allowing us. And by the way, if you're online, please know, if you're online, if you're watching us, if you're following us, if you're worshiping with us daily, hourly, you are included. I'm not you. If when I say us, I mean you in California. I mean you in London, England. I mean you too. But listen, God is allowing this. I don't think God's allowing any other people to serve him with the kind of witness and light that we're bringing to the world today. He may be. But as far as I have been informed, we are that rare Daniel in the lion's den. We're Joseph in the prison. We're Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace. We are Esther before the king Ahasuerus. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're Abraham searching for a city. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're David down in the valley of Elah. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. What a privilege. Now, again, this is deadly. We could lose our lives. The enemy that we're attacking, and we're attacking him. We're taking the battle to his front door. The enemy they would attack. We could lose our lives. I don't want to get too carried away here. But thank God. And let me do this as well, then I'm going to take a break. I want to thank all of the members and friends and well-wishers that stood out there with me those hours, just standing, no place to take a seat comfortably, carrying the bell, carrying the shield. This engineer, I think we had what the lineup looked like, carrying that heavy shield. Look at that, carrying those posters and signs. Look at them. Look at that. Thank God, children, women, men, all of us out there thank you for your service. Thank you so very much. But it ain't over with yet. I kind of like this street church. I like this street sanctuary. All right, I'm going to take a bit of a break, and I'll be back in just a few moments.
Hi, come in. Since the pandemic, I haven't had any house guests, so I decided to invite a couple of friends over. And guess what? They love the way I've redecorated. What's my secret? Bethelite Marketplace. They have wonderful items such as wall decor and fine china. So if you want to be the talk of the town, go to Bethelite Marketplace and hurry.
Come to Bethelite Marketplace, the one-stop shopping dream.
We have been given $1 million in antique jewelry, antique furnishings, painting, clothing, artifacts, vases, china, crystal, pewter, just a wide variety of things that have been given, totaling more than $1 million. And here's what the Lord has led me to say to you, that over the next month, during the month of September and October, you are to purchase 7 of these items as an investment of that which is holy. That these items that have been given to us by Charlene McMillan, or Sister Charlene McMillan, I should say, have been designated and consecrated as holy, as a part of the wealth of the wicked being given to the righteous. Listen to me very carefully. Next 2 months, one a week, one every 2 weeks or whatever, purchase at least one of the items from the Bethelite marketplace as an investment of this historical event that took place from the 15th of August to the 19th of August. And as a part of this God using and bringing to fullness Atla, by calling this march, setting up this foreclosure, causing me as a lion to fight and to lead, that this will be your investment. As God has given these items to us, over $1 million by one woman from the fields of cotton where I plowed and picked up until the time I was 18 years of age, that this will be an investment that will, and that you will have them not as souvenirs, but of investments of the great protest, of the great battle that God has set in array against the $50 trillion melon bank, the city of New York, the powers that be, and that the monies that comes from the melon bank, one of my favorite charities, of course, will be Mercy Ships. But this will be an investment. These will be things that you can say 20 years from now, that this was a part of one of the greatest moves of God in postmodern times. The Allah Church took on the melon bank in Wall Street and won. And I invested in that process. And here is a piece of pottery. Here's a piece of jewelry. Here's furnishings that was given for my investment in this great fight that when the Outlaw Church and the vision and the word and prophecy that God gave took on the most powerful bank on planet Earth with $50 trillion in assets. So by purchasing 7 of the items, and some of the items may only cost you $10 or $15, but it's an item that you purchased on the Bethelite marketplace. And that will be your investment in God restoring the wealth of the wicked to the righteous.
It isn't just about making bent legs straight. It's about enabling these children to re-enter society. Someday they can marry, they can get a job, they can work. It really, truly gives them their life back.
Their medical photos that we take kind of show it all. Their pre-op picture, none of them are smiling and they all look really scared. And then in their post-op picture, they have the biggest smiles on and they're so happy. I mean, it's only 2 pictures, but you can see that a journey has happened.
They never even dared to dream before, and now suddenly it's reality that they can dream and that these dreams could actually come true.
All right, I need to let everybody know that I believe that, in fact, I'm almost positive, I could guarantee that Vladimir Putin has the nuclear information about most NATO nations dispensed to him by Donald John Trump over the past year and a half, and what that's going to mean in terms of nuclear proliferation or nuclear weapons being used within the next 90 days is an important message I need to try to get out. But right now I've got a message that's probably more urgent, and I want you to view what happened as I read Psalm 37, Mama Neal's prayer, there on 49th Street, and also in front of the Smith and Walensky restaurant. I want you to see that experience. I thought it was extraordinary. I think it's extraordinary. And I just want to share it. Now, the other thing is that in the event we're not live streaming over the next couple of days, it doesn't mean that we've gone away. We have just done so much work in 3 days. We've done more than a month to 2 months worth of work in 3 days. And we're planning on doing something similar this weekend. We're waiting on the Holy Ghost to show us how to proceed this weekend. So our live streaming or our being live at the desk of the Manning Report or Trust in the Lord Hour may, over the next couple of weeks or so, you may not see us here as often. Now, we're not leaving the broadcast. We're just enjoying the New Street Sanctuary. So I'm going to ask the engineer to bring up a segment that's going, and I want your patience. Just sit there, stand there, lie there, or whatever, and watch this event that took place on 49th Street.
Fret not thyself because of Smith and Walensky's evil doings. Fret not thyself because of Smith and Walensky's cold states and cold-blooded. Fret not thyself. And anyone to do evil. For evildoers like Smith and Walensky foreclosing a church in Harlem shall be cut off. But those that wait on the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth, shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. For the wicked plotteth against the just, the poor being plotted against by the blood-sucking rich, and they gnash it upon the poor with their teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out their judges, their shyster lawyers, their blood-sucking banks. They've drawn out their sword and have bent their bows to foreclose and cast down the poor and the needy. The Mellon Bank and Smith and Walensky, we don't need no badges. We don't need no stinking badges. The Mellon Bank, Smith and Walensky, drawn out their swords against the poor. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. A little that a righteous man have is better than the riches of Warren Buffett, Smith and Walensky, and the Mellon Bank. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken. But the Lord upholdeth the right. For the Lord knoweth the day of the upright. And their inheritance shall be forever. They shall of lambs. They shall consume into smoke. They shall consume away. The wicked borroweth, payeth not again. But the righteous show mercy and give it. But you can't get no mercy from Smith and Walensky. You can't get no mercy from this place. They don't show no mercy. Like they cuss me out. For such as be blessed, of him shall inherit the earth. And they that be cursed of him shall be cut off. Of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. I have been young, and now I'm old. Yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor a seed begging bread. He is ever merciful and lendeth, and his seed is blessed. Depart from evil and do good and dwell forevermore. For the Lord loveth judgment and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever. But the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell therein forever. The mouth of the the righteous speak wisdom, but the tongue and his tongue talketh of judgment. The law of his God is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide. The wicked watches the righteous like y'all are watching me, and seeketh to slay me. But the Lord will not leave me in your hands, nor condemn me when I'm judged. Wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. when the wicked cut off Zelensky in great power, dining with Warren Buffett, spreading himself like a green bay tree. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yet I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the perfect man. Behold the upright. For the end of that man is peace. But the transgressors shall be destroyed together. And the end of the wicked shall be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous is of the Lord. He is their strength in a time of trouble. And the Lord shall keep them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust in him.
project was, he didn't even open up the project side. He just wanted us to understand what our family is and how individual and this amazing thing. And put them in our letters. And then it was live. Friday.
The lady saying go.
Next week. Sending me slides. I was second person. And he told us to, and then I remember my friend, like my only two friends, besides Ronan. Him and Ronan are my only best friends. And we play a lot of games.
Look, my phone. What's going on here?
And,
My phone. What's going on?
you know, he sits next to me on my architecture. We have AutoCAD 5 arrangement. There is no seating arrangement, or there's no seating arrangement for architecture class because they want us to work with a large part of architecture class. And most of the time they want us to work with. So they're going to change it up sometimes.
Seriously? Yeah.
Yeah, man. Anyway,
Pastor Manning, you are the one to preach righteous and true. You're a sharecropper, son. Pastor Manning, the things you've been through, the Obama year, tribulation Trump too. Pastor Manning, you get knocked down, you get back up, you're the one. You preach righteous and truth. You're a sharecropper, son.
The Mellon Bank, to Judge Bluth, and to Judge Francis A. Kahn III. We shall not be moved.
We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Sing it. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved.
In the midst of war we fight on, standing on the word of God we stand strong.
We shall not be moved.
We're not afraid and ain't backing down. There's a new sheriff here in this town.
We shall not be moved.
You can't try, but you